Witam serdecznie na kolejnym odcinku z Hogwart Legacy. I wychodzimy z naszego pokoju. Jesteśmy w dormitorium. Ty, ładnie tu. Nie jest może przytulnie jak no jak to się nazywa? U pufonów. Dobra, to przebiegłem dookoła, nic ciekawego. Myślałem, że coś jeszcze będzie. A, ciasteczko można zjeść. Ale, znaczy nie jest tu przytulnie, ale na pewno jest ładnie, to trzeba przyznać.
Protego.
Nie to, tylko
Revelio.
tu mamy jakąś skrzynkę. Ale do tego potrzeba umiejętności w zaklęciach.
I suppose some introductions are in order.
Mamy 3 osobom się przedstawić.
Starting Hogwarts in your 5th year.
Did you see the way they just waltzed in at the end of the sorting ceremony last night?
Oczywiście o nas gadają.
This late.
A little room, everyone. Let them through.
O nas gadają tylko.
Already knew that. Can I help you? Ah, you're the new 5th year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin.
Thank you.
Not everyone has a ministry escort to school.
He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride.
Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right.
Przerażające, no jednak, no bądźmy szczerzy, no smog atakujący, no to nie jest ekscytujące, jest to przerażające. Dalsza część przygody, poza tym goblinem na końcu, to była już ekscytująca, nie? No ale smog to był przerażający.
Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
Indeed. And how did you escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
Co czytasz?
What book were you reading?
A spell book I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks.
Co masz na
Are you
myśli?
saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones?
Seems I may have met a kindred spirit. That is a conversation for another time. It was good meeting you. Good luck today.
Dobra. No to myślę, znaczy ja wiem, ale też bym się domyślał, że chodzi o czarną magię. Tak.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Ugh, not going to move there,
Szafy
are you?
czarodziejów.
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Checkmate. Told you.
A jest tam jeden błąd był.
You should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you and Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
Tak. Z tymi szachami jeszcze czarodziejów, bo oni powinni mówić na przykład koń na H5 i tak dalej. To powinni to mówić, a tutaj tylko wskazywali palcem, więc no nie jest to poprawne. Poradziliśmy sobie.
We handled it, and I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling.
Ha! Not the way I fly. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kagawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
dobrze się znasz na szachach.
Are you a keen wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one else see it?
No bo szachy są powtarzalne, masz zestaw ruchów i koniec. Można przewidywać co, jak to robi w dalszych ruchach. Oczywiście do tego trzeba mieć łeb, żeby nie było, że to jest takie proste i każdy... Znaczy pewnie każdy by dał radę, no może nie być mistrzem, ale być na bardzo wysokim poziomie, przy odpowiednich technikach, nauki, no ale trzeba dużo pracy na tym na pewno spędzić.
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Goodbye, Imelda.
nara.
Nice meeting you.
I został ostatni. Gant.
I think I heard one.
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new fifth year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
Raczej nieprzyjemne.
I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route.
I'm sure. How horrible. I can only imagine. Well, it's good to have you in Slytherin. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here.
Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you. He was obsessed with blood status, a pure-blood maniac. Unfortunately, most of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Znaczy, ja przynajmniej rozumiem w historii tak, że tak jak w Harrym Potterze Gantowie to była już taka wręcz wymarła linia, bo tylko Voldy został z potomków właśnie Salazara. A tutaj bym tak rozumiał, że jeszcze ich więcej jest przy życiu. Oczywiście w późniejszym czasach Harry'ego Pottera podejrzewam, że też było więcej potomków Salazara, no bo jednak są przecież te wszystkie wielkie rody ze sobą skolidowane, ale mimo to no nie tutaj, znaczy w sensie tutaj jest ich powiedzmy ta rodzina jeszcze jest trochę większa.
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Nara.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Is the new 5th year Slytherin in here? Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
Rosie. Dobrą nagrodę. Tutaj mamy jakiegoś zawodnika ze Slytherinu. Wywodząc się. Zawodnika, szukającego. Tak? Szukający? Tak. Szukający. Dobra. Tam coś rozbiłem.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Pod pachą mamy jakąś skrytkę.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up. Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Revelio.
Posąg ten przedstawia kelpię, zmiennokształtnego demona wodnego z Irlandii i Wielkiej Brytanii. Zwykle przyjmie postać długowłosego konia. Największy kelpie jakiegokolwiek odnotowano to potwór z Loch Ness w Szkocji. Takie. Właśnie odblokowano wyzwanie przewodnika. Tutaj pojawiają się twoje postępy w wypełnianiu wyzwań. Wyzwania przewodnika są jedyną możliwością zdobywania punktów doświadczenia. Otwórz przewodnik. Oto twój czarodziejski poziom punktów doświadczenia zdobyte w wyzwaniach zwiększają twój poziom mocy. Wyzwania. Mamy przewodnika. Wygląd tutaj możemy odblokować. I możemy odbierać nagrody. Spoko. Teraz mamy podążać za nim dalej.
Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that,
Wszędzie, gdzie się
inside
da.
and outside of the castle.
Zamek jest przepełniony magią, tajemnicami.
Good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Otwórz mapę. Hogwart jest podzielony na dwa główne obszary. Po lewej stronie mapy znajdują się kwatery mieszkalne uczniów i nauczycieli, a także pokoje wspólne domów i wielka sala. Wybierz wielkich schodów. Widzimy, jakie są dostępne i powrót do mapy. Tu po prawej stronie mamy błonie, wieża astronomiczna, biblioteka, szklarnie. Tak. Mamy odblokowany jeden do sali głównej i tam mamy się przenieść. Oczywiście tutaj jest po prostu ułatwione szybkie przemieszczanie się, szybką podróż. W ten sposób rozwiązali.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall.
Chyba, że kiedyś...
Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
To wiemy. Z lekcji zaklęć, no to wiem, lekcje zaklęć.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
Dobra, nie mieliśmy za bardzo mówić, ale co by tu powiedzieć? Zgadzamy się, tak?
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself.
Miałem nie mówić tego, dobra, źle zrozumiałem.
Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Wiemy, znaczy, mam nadzieję, że wiemy, jak działa mapa.
Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
Teraz mamy porozmawiać z profesorem.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
Mam nadzieję, że nie wymknęło mi się za dużo.
She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Otwórz mapę. Ten symbol przedstawia główne misje. Przechodzenie głównych misji rozwija fabułę, odblokowuje nowe funkcje i zapewnia punkty doświadczenia. Niektóre misje są zablokowane ze względu na wymagania zaklęć, takich przypadkach musisz mieć wymagany poziom i lub niezbędne zaklęcia, aby aktować misję. Nowe zaklęcia można zdobyć wykonując zadania profesorów lub jako nagrodę misji. Dobra.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Dobra, no i mamy drogę. A, to się musiało załadować.
Revelio.
Dobra, bo na razie się nie wariuje gra. Płomień view. Dobra, ciekawe czy czasem nie będę musiał zmieścić ustawień graficznych. Gra nie wydaje. Dobra. Misja rozpocznij. O Jezu, ale ty nie. Nic chyba nie mam w to takiego odpalonego chyba.
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
O, udało się. Myszką nie machałem i...
Levioso.
się udało.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
Jezu, czemu nagle tym razem tak zaczęło lagować, nie? Mamy próbować swoich sił.
Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember. Good. Now, well done. Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Levioso.
This should be easy.
You're good.
How perceptive. Right? Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it.
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
If only all of my students were this adept.
Levioso.
I do enjoy live duels. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down.
Levioso.
Watch your opponent for signs to attack or defend yourself.
No, wyrzuciłem go, dobra.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you,
Okay.
Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If
No,
what
ale
I've
tak
seen
ci
today
nasi
is any
zasypiali, no,
indication,
było.
we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it.
Mam nadzieję, że za
A
chwilę
classroom
przestanie
duel is
znać
one
się
thing,
gra.
but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments.
Dobra.
All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Revelio.
Tu mamy zablokowane, ale mamy tutaj karteczkę jakąś. Duży, smoczy szkielet wiszący w pracowni obrony przed czarną magią. Jest to podobno trofeum zdobyte przez profesor Hecat, gdy samodzielnie pokonała jedną z największych band kłusowników Walii Wschodniej podczas wielkiej obławy na kłusowników w 1878 roku. Czyli jak teraz wejdziemy tu, mamy wyzwania, misje. Aha, bo musimy ukończyć dwie. Tu mamy odebranie na nagrody. I tyle. Ale okularów nie będziemy zakładać.
Revelio.
I teraz wrócimy. Tam mamy zamek i nic więcej. A ty co tu powiesz?
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
Nie będziemy ściemniać.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Brzmi intrygująco.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Tak. Misja ukończona. A, i mamy punkt doświadczenia. Oczywiście, że pójdziemy najpierw skrzyżować różdżki. Mamy dodatkową zawartość jeszcze. Dobra. Wezwania, misje. Tylko wyglądy odblokowujemy, ale warto jest odblokowywać, bo tam chyba coś poza wyglądami
Revelio.
jest. A, podróży to nie. Tu wygląda, jakby coś mogłoby być. I gdzieś się pojawiło. Coś rozbrzmiewa. Dobra, jedna ważna rzecz, chyba zmniejszmy ustawienia grafiki. Może weźmy średnią, ale może coś bym podniósł. Tekstury, postacie, żeby były na wyższym poziomie może. Nie będzie wyglądało genialnie, ale aż dziwnie może wyglądać przybliżenie na ludzi, ale niech będzie.
Revelio.
Kurde. Znalezienie wszystkich tych rzeczy to jest lekkie wyzwanie. A zamek jest ogromny, trzeba o tym pamiętać. O, chyba trochę lepiej będzie działać teraz. Dobra. Tu mamy zamek, no na razie zamków nie otworzymy.
Revelio.
A, i Rydek, o.
Szkoda,
Szkoda, że w filmach go nie było. Jest nadzieja, że jak stworzą...
As long as for only one time per week, I can plunge the boy's lavatory. Not for the meek.
Please, you'll make me late.
He tried to stop me, did rancorous carp. Sought to
Dawaj.
trap me, confine me inside of a jar.
Nawiedzona toaleta. Jeśli nie jest to absolutnie koniecznie, to lepiej unikać tej toalety, albowiem jest podobno jednym z ulubionych miejsc do żartów i Rydka.
But he failed, as did his containment
Filmach
charms.
go nie
So I took
było.
my revenge to wreak
Może
havoc
jeśli
in the
faktycznie powstanie serial, to dostanie swoje 5 minut. Wiesz, ta mapa przedstawia Argyllshire, region Szkocji, w którym położone są Hebrydy, ojczyzna czarnego smoka hebryckiego. Tu ogólnie będą jakieś zaklęcie, trzeba rzucić, potem masz się takie zagadki. Jednej nie mogłem rozwiązać, musiałem aż internet, wspomóc się internetem, a wtedy mało było nawet takich filmów.
Glad you could make it. Lucan's just over there.
Tu też coś
Revelio.
będzie z tymi posągami. Już nie pamiętam jakie zaklęcia.
Can I help you?
Sebastian told me to see you about a club.
If Sebastian vouches for you, that's all I need to know. I coordinate duels for crossed wands. A dueling club of sorts. It's invitation only, so you must have really impressed Sebastian.
I seem to have a knack for dueling.
Then you've come to the right place.
How does crossed wands work exactly?
You show up, I match you with other duelists, and whoever is still standing in the end wins. It's our way of determining the school's greatest duelist once and for all. And to liven things up, the winner is awarded a prize. Interested?
Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime.
I agree. Besides, in crossed ones, you could duel with a partner if you like. Your first time I'll pair you with Sebastian. Next time, you'll need to bring a partner along, or duel alone. So, care to step into the ring?
Oczywiście, że chcemy spróbować.
Get me in
Zaczynajmy.
the ring.
Spectacular! Let the fireworks begin!
To na razie mam jedno zaklęcie.
We'll make you regret signing up.
Runda nowicjuszy. Tak, wiem. Caps lockiem wybieramy osobę, dobra?
Expulso! Give them what for! Expulso!
Zwycięstwo, dobra.
Lucky duel. Nice work. Sebastian wasn't wrong about you. There's strong competition ahead, but keep this up and you could be the next school champion.
Brilliant. Count me in.
I shall. Now, it takes time to organise these duels, but check with me later. I may have something lined up for you.
Tak.
Again, congratulations on your first Crossed Ones victory. Well fought. Hope to see you back here again.
Revelio.
Czy tu mamy? Nie, raczej nie mamy. Drzwi zamknięte. Tu też chyba zagadka z tym zegarem jest, z tego co pamiętam. Chyba musi się wczytać.
Just wait till I've grown a bit, then we'll see how well you do.
I feel sorry for your next opponent.
Tak, zostaliśmy uznani. To teraz mapa. Tak, misje poboczne, ale nic więcej chyba nie ma. Lecimy na obrona na ten, ale chciałem zadanie wybrać, to chyba nie tędy. Nie przez mapę. Tak, dźwięk jest, bo już zgubiłem. Czyli to było... Nie śledzić, czyli escape pewnie. Misje. Tak. Bo też warto jest przechadzać się po budynku, tym wszystkim, żeby wszystkich trafić.
Revelio.
To się odezwało. Nie, tutaj chyba nie ma niczego. Można kotki pogłaskać.
Revelio.
To jest standardowa kwestia. Biegniesz co parę metrów, krzyczysz Revelio. Revelio. O, tu może być coś. Teraz właśnie rozpocznijmy zajęcia. A tu taki fajny nauczyciel jest.
Behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Tak.
Shall we begin? welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right? Now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? Hmm?
Tak durne pytanie.
I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Bo z reguły powinno być dwa domy tylko miały zajęcia naraz. Nie wszystkie, tylko dwa. Więc jak tutaj jest Slytherin i ona jest z Gryffindoru, no to tylko my powinniśmy być. W sensie tylko Slizgoni i Gryfoni. A Pufonów i Krukonów nie powinno być na tych zajęciach. Więc tak, taki mały błąd. No w filmie wiem, że było to połączone.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Jest ten typ dziwnego nauczyciela, ale zarazem dobrego nauczyciela. Bez żadnego nudnego siedzenia w klasach.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
A, to też fajna minigierka jest.
So
Znaczy,
why
my
don't we have
zawsze
our newest
jesteśmy w
students
innym
start us
miejscu
off?
niż reszta, to już... To już dla mnie nie jest jasne.
Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like very good.
O, poszło.
Excellent control there.
Dobra.
That's it. Happens to the best of us.
Kurde.
Very good. Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Dobra, no to teraz trzeba się postarać.
Watch this.
Trzeba to zrobić też w ten sposób. Nie. Dobra. A, chciałem wybić, ale nie... Za szybko puściłem. Dobra. Może tym razem się uda.
You are not making this easy for me, are
Jest,
you?
udało się.
Let us see this.
Ale ona też wyrzuci. Albo i nie. Dobra, no to mamy wygraną w kieszeni już. Dobra, to masz. I na styk.
A perfect score. Remarkable.
Tak.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
Przeszkody będą teraz. A,
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Watch this.
tak.
Yes!
Teraz trzeba poczekać na Nie, ja nie chcę tą. Ja chcę tą. O. Oj, dobra, bo bym jeszcze pogorszył sobie sytuację.
Be sharp. That is how it's done.
Nie, za późno.
Not to worry.
Kurde. Źle. Trzeba było
Let
wybić.
us see this.
No, 50 będzie za mało, więc trzeba to ściągnąć teraz to.
Quite impressive.
Aj. Nie udało się. O 10 punktów.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
Także no, było ociut zwycięstwo, no ale niestety błędy popełnione nie dały rady.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. but I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can
A
use
word,
Accio
if
on
you would.
humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
A, to w taki sposób przyciągamy potem ludzi za pomocą tego zaklęcia. Nie, że człowieka przyciągamy, tylko jego ubrania. To cwane wykorzystanie.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has lost.
Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Dobra. Poziom zdobyliśmy.
There. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello. You wanted to speak to me.
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
Miło.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Dobra, to teraz jakie mamy zadanie? Zadania. Spotkajmy się jeszcze z panią Weasley, pani profesor Weasley. A to w tą stronę mamy iść. Jeszcze przebiegniemy. Ogarnięcie w tym zamku, co gdzie jest, to jest sztuka, także jak będę się gubić w tym zamku, to nie moja wina, ktoś po prostu zbudował zamek tak, żeby nie można było ogarnąć go. To jest zawsze wina innych, pamiętajcie. A, wiem chyba co z tymi posągami można zrobić. Trzeba byłoby teraz trafić na jakiegoś. Czyżby tu była jeszcze? O, mamy. Przeciwnika. Fontanna z wiwerną. Ta fontanna na dziedzińcu transmutacji ma na szczycie podobiznę wiwerny i służy jako relaksujące miejsce spotkań uczniów. Pomimo plotek, prawdopodobnie zapoczątkowanych przez Sir Cadogana, z pewnością nie jest to wiwerna z którą rycerz ten niespodziewanie dla siebie pokonał.
Revelio.
A. Teleport.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit during your brief detour near... what was it you said? Some ruins? I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streamer. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
Dobra.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
Jak pierwszy raz grałem, to chyba szedłem z tą babką. A to może z Sebastianem?
I'd like to go with Sebastian.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Porozmawiać z profesorem Ronem, aby otrzymać swoje pierwsze zadanie. To są misje, które otrzymujesz od profesorów, a za ich ukończenie zdobywasz nowe zaklęcie. Nagrodą za ukończenie pierwszego zadania jest zaklęcie reprezentujące reparo, potrzebne do wykonania innych misji. Możesz śledzić zadania i postępy w menu misji przewodnika. Aha, bo z Sebastianem nie możemy teraz iść, pewnie o to chodzi. Musimy najpierw wykonać jego misję.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor?
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor.
Dobra, nie ma co podpytywać się, jaki jest cel, mamy po prostu zrobić swoje.
This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is. Revelio.
Mamy zablokowane zaklęcie. Tu na pewno... Tu czasem... O. Stronę przewodnika, to potem będzie można przeczytać. Aha, tu mam. Dobra, złap stronę, czyli... Mam to. Dobra. Tu idziemy dalej.
A flying page must be around here somewhere. Brilliant.
Mamy. Nie przeczytałem, jakie mam zadanie i potem jak głupi patrzyłem, zastanawiałem się, co mam robić.
I trust the preliminary tasks weren't too much trouble.
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements. I want to see some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Remember, your wand is a conduit of your magic.
Czyli tak, spacja. Teraz F. Spacja. Spacja. I gitara. Mamy. Tak, możemy...
That's it! Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolized heartbreak. Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
Reparo.
Nicely done. Works like a charm, doesn't it?
Revelio.
No. Fajnie wygląda posąg. Dobrze, ale na dzisiaj zakończymy. Mam nadzieję, że odcinek Wam się spodobał. I co? Do następnego.